today's math paper is Worktext page 65 and 66, and I'm sending home 63 and 64 with you for homework. Now, what we're doing today is called a circle graph. This will not be on the test. The test will be on Friday. Tomorrow, you're actually going to do the review page to help you practice for the test. They will not have circle graphs on it. And then the next day, we'll have to start the new unit. And then Friday, you will take the test. But let's review. Okay, so first of all, we've learned about the bar graph. Alright, so the bar graph can have bars going straight up, or it can have bars going across. Some of you are not even looking. Alright, then we learned about the line plot. We learned about the line plot. And we learned that you have to read what this says so you know what these numbers are. For example, these are number of tickets sold. So what are the people? The X's. The X's are the people who bought this number of tickets. Alright? So how many people bought 5 tickets?
5.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 5 is not the number of people. The 5 is the number of tickets. But I already told you, Adam. I said, these numbers are the number of tickets. Okay? Alright, how many people bought 8 tickets? 4. Alright? Now we move on to this one. This one is called the
Picture
graph.
graph.
We're not going to look at that because it's not called that anymore. We call it picture graph. And on that one, you're always going to have a key at the bottom that tells you what. Is it always going to be a 2?
No.
No. You're going to find that it could be a 5, it could be 10. So you may have to count by 5s. Please pay attention up here. I've already said to stop playing with your colored pencils. Get your attention up here. Now, young lady, leave your colored pencils alone. Thank you. So, sometimes you might have to count by 5s, sometimes you might have to count by 10s. Alright, and then yesterday, these are all crazy. This one is a coordinate graph. And with that, you would make ordered pairs. And the first number is going across. You start at the 0 and you go across. And then with the second number, you go up. Alright? So let's say we wanted to figure out the ordered pair for these pants right here. We would go across to the 9, and that would be our first number. And up to the 4. So that would be 9, 4. That would be the ordered pair for those pants. And let's say we wanted to do the gloves. So we'd go across to the 6, because that's underneath the gloves, and up to the 6. So that one would actually be 6, 6. Okay? And today we are going to do what's called a circle graph. Some people actually call it a pie chart, because it looks like a pie. But we're going to call it a circle graph. And what they're doing here is the Smith's family vacation. Alright, so it has the days of the week going around the circle graph. And then they have colored key codes. So up here it says the red part is the time that they traveled. So how many days did they travel? 2. The yellow part is the time they were at the beach. So how many days were they at the beach? 4. And the blue part is the time they spent at the museum. So how many days did they spend at the museum? 1. So looking at this, you can tell what did they do the most of?
Going to the beach.
Beach. And what did they do the least of?
The museum.
Museum. And then travel time was somewhere in the middle. Okay, so that's what a circle graph does for you. Alright, so go ahead and look at your paper today. And this is a circle graph. It says a circle graph shows parts of a whole. So that was the whole trip, right? The circle graph represents a whole trip. And then each section is divided up in different things they did on the trip. We are going to be talking about this aquarium, all right? So let's read the purple box together on your paper. It says the aquarium contains 8 sea creatures. Each creature is part of the aquarium sea life. The circle graph represents the aquarium sea life. The circle is divided into 8 parts to match the 8 sea creatures. So if you look on your paper, you see that circle has 8 sections, correct? All right. Now, question number 1, everybody look at number 1. It says, how many starfish are in the aquarium? 1. So just write on that line, write 1 starfish. And if you look at the key, it says to color the starfish section yellow. So pick up your yellow and just color 1 section of that pie, or circle graph, I'm sorry. 1 section of the circle graph yellow to represent the 1 starfish. Okay, I need you to get busy doing it now. Everybody else is already busy and you're like taking your time to pick up your yellow instead of getting busy. So then everybody else will be done and you're still going to be sitting there. Please color it neatly. We are 3rd graders. This is not a coloring contest, but at the same time, we are not scribbling like preschoolers. Okay, our chairs should be close enough to our desk so we don't feel like we have to lay across our desk. We should sit up to draw, or to color, or to write. Not lay across our desk. Alright, let's go to number 2 now. Everybody should be done coloring that section. And Zeke, if you're not done, I want you to go and put your pencil down and go on to number 2. Otherwise you're getting behind. You can go back and color that later. Zeke, right now, put it down. Number 2, how many clownfish are in the aquarium? 5. So put 5 clownfish. You need a label of clownfish. You were told to put a label of starfish. You were told to put a label of clownfish, and you did not. Get busy. You should have written 1 starfish, because they said how many starfish, and you should be putting 5 clownfish. Now listen carefully. How many sections are you going to color? 5. Can you color 2 over here and 3 over there? No, they need to be connected. You need to color 5 in a row. I don't care whether you go this way from the yellow or that way from the yellow, but you need to start with the yellow. Because otherwise, then your green ones are going to be interrupted. So you're using which color again? Orange. I don't think I even asked that. So use your orange. And look at me. You can either start on this side. I'm going to get in front of the camera so she can see. You can start on this side and color 5 around, or you can start on this side and color 5 around, but they cannot be separated. You can't color 2 over here and 3 over there. They have to be together, okay? So all the orange ones need to be together. So I don't care if you start here and color 5, or start here and color 5 one this way. But they have to be together. You cannot split them up. I had one year, one person thought they were going to be creative, and they put 2 over here and 3 over there. No, because then you don't have all the clownfish together like they should be. All the orange sections need to be together. All right, how many of you are finished coloring all 5 sections? All right, I want you to stop for a second coloring, and let's go fill in the last one so the people that are done coloring can go on to the last section. And it says how many seahorses are in the aquarium? 2. So put 2 seahorses. You're fine, just keep writing. Seahorses is right there, the copy button. And then you're going to color them green. For those of you that didn't finish coloring the 5 orange sections, go ahead and go back and color the 5 orange sections. And then color the 2 green. And I still may not wait for you to finish, because since we are videoing, we need to go on to the back. Since I can't pause the video, we're going to have to go on to the back. And then you can go back to the front in a minute. Alright, so everyone stop coloring. I see some people who are done, so I'm going to go and say, since there's so many people done, stop coloring now. Turn the paper over. You get to finish that later. What do you see on the back? What is that called? No.
Sea creatures.
No, I'm not asking for the title. I'm asking for what is that graph called? It is called a
Coordinate graph.
It's called a coordinate graph. And it is a coordinate graph of sea creatures again. Just like what we were doing on the front. A coordinate graph of sea creatures. So which way are we going to go first?
Across.
Yes, across the bottom. So put your finger at 0. And they want to know the ordered pair. So the 2 numbers, that's what you call the ordered pair that are the manatee. So when you go doing the manatee, you had to go across to the 4 and up to the 2. Do you understand that, Eric? Cross to the 4 and up to the 2. So what are you going to write beside the manatee? 4, 2. That's at number 1 where it says the word manatee. You're going to write 4, 2. 4, comma 2. And if you want to, remember you can put in parentheses. Alright, now let's find the octopus. So for the octopus, we had to go, start at 0 again. No, stop. Please stop blurting out the answer so fast. Put your finger at 0 now. And we go across to the 2 and up to the 1. So what are we going to write? 2, comma 1. Alright, the next one is the shark. So see the shark? Start at 0. And you're going to go across to the 5 and up to the 6. Raise your hand if you're not understanding this, because this will be on the test. Alright? Alright, everybody write 5, comma 6 for that one? Now, don't blurt it out this time. I'm going to get Adam to help me on this one. Alright, the next one is a stingray. Do you see the stingray? So Adam, what are you going to go across to be underneath the stingray? There we go. And up to what number? Alright, so that's what you write. 6, comma 3. Alright, because you went across to the 6 and up to the 3 for the stingray. Alright, now on the next section they give you the ordered pairs and you have to say which creature is that. So the first ordered pair they give you is 3, 4. So we're going to go across to the 3. Some of you aren't doing it. And up to the 4. And what do you see?
Jellyfish.
So go circle that jellyfish. And then the next ordered pair they give you is a 1, 6. So go across to the 1 and up to the 6. And what do you see?
Dolphin.
Very good. Alright, the next thing is a what kind of graph? Picture graph. Very good. That is a picture graph. This also will be on your test. Alright, so what does this picture graph represent?
Sandwiches sold.
Alright, and what is the key? 1
Sandwich
equals 2 sandwiches. Actually, it looks like 1 slice of bread. So 1 slice of bread represents 2 sandwiches. Now they do have a little interesting thing here. Does everybody look at chicken? Did they even give us a whole piece of bread there? So what does that mean? They only gave us a half a piece. So what is half of 2?
1.
So that means they only sold 1 chicken sandwich. And they showed it to us by just giving us a half a piece of bread. Because 1 whole piece of bread is 2 sandwiches. So they only gave us a half a piece of bread. So we know that means 1 sandwich. Does that make sense? Alright, so the first thing they ask us at number 7 is how many sandwiches were sold altogether. So we're going to have to count by 2. But when we get to that chicken sandwich, then we're going to switch to counting by
1.
So we're going to count all the whole breads first, then we'll go back and pick up that half bread. You guys understand? Alright, so use your finger so you keep track of where you are. Start with the cheese. 2, 4, 6, 8. Go to the ham. 10, 12, 14. Go to the jelly. 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Go back to the chicken and that will make 25 sandwiches. And you can copy the word sandwiches from the question, how many sandwiches? So 25 sandwiches. And please copy the word carefully so you spell it correctly. Alright, does anybody need more time? Alright, number 8, sorry. Which type of sandwich was sold most? Jelly, because it has the biggest row of bread slices. Jelly sandwiches were most popular. How many chicken sandwiches were sold? 1. You would just write 1 sandwich. Don't put sandwiches. Because 1 is singular, right? So take the ES off and just write one sandwich. I know they had to ask you how many chicken sandwiches were sold, but the answer is one sandwich. So don't add the ES. One sandwich. All right, the next one we're going to be doing an equation for, because they're asking us how many more. So what are we going to be doing? If it says how many more, very good, we're going to be subtracting. It says how many more cheese sandwiches were sold than ham sandwiches. So the first number we need would be the cheese sandwich number, because that's the one that sold more, right?
Yeah.
So everybody go to the cheese sandwich row. Go to the cheese sandwich row, and what are we going to do? We're going to count by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's the first number of your equation, 8. Whoever said 10 is not paying attention. And we're going to subtract 8 minus the ham sandwiches. Go to the ham sandwich row. Count by twos. 2, 4, 6. 8 minus 6. And that would be your answer. And what are you going to put for the label? No. More. And you have how many more? You can say more sandwiches, but you're not going to just say sandwiches. You're going to say more. There were 2 more. So if you're saying how many more cheese sandwiches were sold than ham sandwiches, you're going to say 2 more. Okay? All right. Now you may go back and finish coloring the front if you did not finish it.